how petty and how strange that some people were just waiting and needing permission to jump up and start attempting to oppress another group of people. It's it's amazing to me, like through the Trump era, people were saying that we were going back in time. You know, the saying was out there, "Make America a great again." And for many, that was code for, we're going back in time, way back in time. You know, 50s, 60s, 70s maybe, where racism was really high and overt, and people could just walk around and scare and terrorize people. I mean, in that time period, it was pretty brutal. I don't think people knew exactly what they meant, what they meant when they said "Make America Great Again." When they said going back in time, because the brutality of going back in time, the 50s and 40s, was very violent against people of color. Just violence, period. When we had, there was a president assassinated. We had leaders assassinated. The Kennedys were assassinated. These were violent times, and then not to mention the terrorizing of people of color with the organization of the KKK, the police, mobs, hangings, rapes, the intimidation of stepping off the sidewalk when you saw a person of non-color coming, or you don't look people in the eyes. You don't smile at people of different colors. You could be dragged out of your house. So it was a very violent time, very suppressive time. And so when you had that theme, "Make America Great Again," so people were thinking, we can go back in this time. But I don't think they realized what that time was really like. But they did realize about intimidation, that they wanted to intimidate and keep people in their place. There were so many stories, like stories of a man walking, and there was a person of color walking towards him, and he yelled, I think he yelled, "Make America Great Again," as he forced her off the sidewalk, letting her know, if I'm on the sidewalk, don't, get off. Even myself, I had one experience. Me and my wife were walking, and there was some group of people coming towards us on the sidewalk. And there's enough room for all of us. But it was almost a standoff, because they were expecting us to just jump off the sidewalk. And we didn't. So it's just interesting. So, and then you see time and time again, you see these situations where people all of a sudden, they just started using racial slurs with some strangers. They're in the store, in line with a stranger, and all of a sudden they just start calling the stranger a racial slur. Or somebody's in a park, public park, and all of a sudden there's a conflict with somebody talking to or calling somebody a racial slur at the park, or people following people, like you drive through a neighborhood and somebody is following you. So it's situation after situation. But my point, what I wanted to say was how petty and how strange that some people were just waiting and needing permission to jump up and start attempting to oppress another group of people. How small-minded are you? How lack of integrity, compassion, what kind of person are you that when the opportunity presents himself that you can do harm to another person, whether psychologically or physically, you take advantage of that. What kind of person is that? The people that I admire in the world, the people that make the changes, the people that change the world are the ones who think for themselves, the ones who go get it. They work hard, they go get it. They're ambitious, they're compassionate, they have all these amazing values. The people that I detest, or that we all should detest, are these people who are just hiding, waiting for somebody to give them permission to harm another person, whether psychologically or physically, and think that's okay. I just think that's very strange. And I think that kind of person is a very weak person. Somebody who, somebody we couldn't possibly fear or respect.